Hi, I'm Ashley Victoria Robinson.
And I'm Jay Washington.
And we're here to review Black Lightning Season 2, Episode 13, Book of Secrets, Chapter 3, Pillar of Fire. And if you haven't seen this episode, you might want to come back later because there will be spoilers. Jefferson wins a victory in his professional life, and Anissa deals with the loss of Grace. Jay Washington, why are these titles so long? Why did they do this to me?
Hey, these are books. Books have real long titles, and yeah, because that's what I'm really, at this rate, I am going to be terrified to hear what episode 16 is called.
I actually want to say I do really admire the naming convention because, like so many elements in this show, it is very thought out.
Yes.
It stands out as being very unique from the rest of the DCTV, EU, CW, WB, DC universe.
That was a lot of letters.
But I swear to God, if we're doing this for season 6, I'm gonna have an infarction. That's just gonna be what happens. Okay, so Jen is in a Faraday cage at the beginning?
Well,
and not Faraday cage?
Well, the thing is, now they're training her.
I love it.
It's officially she's training to be a superhero.
Finally.
You know, everybody's been waiting on it since the beginning of the show.
I think we predicted it for all of season 1. We were like, yeah, she's gonna be a superhero in 5 episodes because we're so used to the Flash.
You know, so used to like, yeah, she's got a suit, like, it's already been made.
There's
now
85 heroes and they're all speedsters.
And now all of a sudden we're almost done with the second season, which this has been the best stall out.
Oh, yeah,
period.
For sure.
Like, out of every superhero show, this has been one of the best stall outs for somebody being a normal person to accepting their role to becoming a hero.
Yeah.
So to see her in that, and the best line was when she overloaded the Sanctum, Gamby said, look, because Jefferson was like, yo, this should be able to hold power. He was like, yeah, it can withstand a nuclear bomb. And so Jefferson was like, wait, you telling me my odd-head 16-year-old daughter is stronger than a nuclear bomb? Okay. Having
been a 16-year-old daughter, it's an accurate metaphor. I really loved it. And I love any time we get to see Jefferson being like a tired dad. Like, Cress is so good at just being like, I just want a nap.
I'm dealing with too much shit.
Yeah. We also get a lot of great stuff for Lynn in this episode. Last week we talked about Odell is back on the team. He's up there being a sneaky little a-hole, and he informs Lynn that the pod nuggets are going away, and she can either go with them or she can't.
And then he has to tell her why, because she's like, look, you need to let me know what's going on. And it brings up Markovia again.
Jay's favorite Marco.
You know, because we're doing it. So the thing is, we have so many mini storylines going on that all feed into the main storyline.
Yes.
Which is great.
Including Henderson and Gamby going in the field, which is just my favorite thing ever. And James Remar seems to think that, like in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, one baseball cap is enough to obscure your identity. And he's doing all the weird things with his wrist. And then David Compton is like, what are you doing?
He's like, it's a Geiger counter on my watch.
Of course
it is.
Yeah.
Of course it is.
He's just such a goddamn gift. What a great scene. I was sad that we didn't get a little more of them this episode, but we are getting to wrapping up a lot of these storylines, so there is a lot of things going on. So hopefully we get to see more of Henderson v 2.0 later on. I want to say that I loved the ancient pod kid getting unfroze, which is something that we've been working on for several episodes
First of all, that's not a kid. That's a pod man.
I just can't think of a better way to describe it.
That's a man.
Human.
That's a man.
Man.
He is grown as hell.
Yeah.
But you know what? It was nice because it was like, okay, we heard about the MOD.
Yeah.
And now we're going to open them. And I'm glad we only opened one.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you don't spoil everything.
Yeah.
But it was dope to see Jose and Chanchez pop up out the pod.
Jay sure did recognize him right away.
I was like, hey, that's Malik from the game. Yo, shouts out. That's a Salim Akil thing. Now y'all see why I'm trying to work on the show. You work on one, you going to work on every.
Yes, well, that's also a mark of a great creator, bringing all your buddies with you.
People who you know can deliver, and he definitely does. And he's Shakedown. I love the fact they have his code name.
Classic DC character.
Classic MOD character. They gave him his code name. Same abilities. Haven't changed anything.
And we get, they say Masters of Disaster. Finally, for the first time ever.
No, actually, they said it before.
Did they?
Yeah, when Todd
I don't remember.
When Todd cracked the briefcase.
Oh, you're right. But now we have a member of it. Now we're really building it.
We're really building.
So exciting.
Also, we found out that Tobias and Cutter were banging again.
I really liked this storyline because you and I have been like, what is their relationship?
Right.
The whole time, because the actors have great chemistry. They're totally fun to work together. And the scene where Cutter is walking down the stairs basically to call Tobias out on his bullshit. I love a lady who will call out Marvin Crondon on his bullshit in this show. And he's talking to Tori, and she's A, not weird about it, and B, completely fine that he's drunk the whole time. That scene, that singular scene, forget about the rest of it, was worth the price of admission.
Well, the fact that he acknowledged it, because she was like, "Were you just talking to the painting?" Because it wasn't like it wasn't a who are you talking to. It was like, yo, you're talking to the painting. He was like, yeah. She's just happy you're back in my life, and was cool with it. It's like,
I also appreciate that as a character beat for Cutter, though, because when she was first introduced, we kind of assumed that she was just this cool stunt woman who they brought to be a cool fighter, and now we're seeing that, like, she's very smart.
There's a lot of depth to her.
She's trying to manipulate him. I don't know which one of them's going to get murderized by the end of the season. I do.
I wish she didn't discuss this with me. This is interesting. No, I don't. I can see it, and it's a strong possibility. Do you think maybe she's going to try to play on Tobias's feelings for her?
I think so, and I think she's going to try to, because I'm assuming, because we know they had some sort of relationship before, I'm assuming she's going to try to use whatever bond she had with Tori to get as much out of Tobias as possible.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ashley Victoria Robinson over here.
I would just like a lady to be the villain of the season.
I'm glad, and also I'm glad we have a woman next to Tobias that is stronger. Cyanide was not.
She looked great.
She looked great. She was not as strong as what Cutter is. Cutter has been, like, from the moment we got her first scene, has been amazing. That whole, you know, the interaction with her and Shakedown with the fight, and Tobias just watching, he like, well, and then she finally shut down. She's like, you could have did that the whole damn time.
I loved it. And I know it's just a special effect. I know there was no knife there, but it was really cool.
Oh,
it was so cool.
Which is, again, I will give credit to all of the CWDC shows. Their special effects, when they care about them, keyword, when they care, look great. I
will also say that I think Black Lightning and Arrow actually get the best because they're only using it for little enhancements like that. Whereas, like, Flash, Supergirl, Legends sometimes are building whole worlds. And it's just a bigger order, that's all.
Absolutely.
We also get another return to Garfield, which we were psyched about last week. I love seeing Jefferson teach. I love Langston Hughes.
Shouts out to the kid that got less than 5 lines, but he still told everybody he's on the episode.
Yeah, he definitely got that 125 seg under 5 day rate.
It was like, hey, you ain't, don't you say. He was like, thank you. And he was like, just nod your head. Don't say nothing. Just nod your head. I love the fact also we bring back Robert Townsend as Dr. Neighbor.
I was going to say Meteor Man comes back.
Yeah. And it was great because, again, all these characters, like we talked about in the last episode, characters you keep seeing, we now bring them back because we haven't forgotten about them.
Were you surprised that we kind of got the implication that Lowry was on his way out? He got a real awful scene where he told Jefferson off at the end, and Robert Townsend is like, hey, you're gonna be fine. And then Jeff does the noble thing. Were you surprised by that?
I was, but I like the way they did it with the montage in his head.
From the last 2 episodes.
Well, just as a whole, it's supposed to be. I mean, I don't think we can do a whole almost 25 episode montage.
That's what you think.
Yeah, this is true. It would have been.
Can you imagine the editor's just like, no.
I just don't want the editor to just walk off like,
we just did the Flash 100 episode. Absolutely not.
I'm not doing this again. But the thing is to do that and make Jefferson realize, yeah, I would end up possibly abandoning students as principal again. I can't. So as much as it pains him to say that, because you know he wants his job as much as he like. So Larry's the best person for the job.
He wants the best parking spot. I also love that Townsend's like, what? Man, I stuck my neck out for you.
Yo, that is some real black friend stuff. And like, look, that's outside of L.A., New York. That's some stuff I see at the crib. That's how you know Robert Townsend from Chicago. Hey, man, I just stuck my neck out for you. Like, what did you do?
Yeah.
And then they tell him, don't ask me for nothing else.
Yeah.
Don't ask me. And it shows you the testament and the character of Jefferson Pierce, not Black Lightning.
Yeah, he's good at pissing off his friends because he pissed off Henderson too.
Well, look, you got to piss off somebody, not telling them who you truly are.
Yeah. You're right, though. You're right. And I'm cheapened it by making a joke.
No. It's okay. And also, one of the biggest things that we have to talk about is Jen is now going out Jen is out going out in these streets like, yo, she goes to Club 100.
She fully embraces Blackbird as her own identity.
With her own little bedazzled bandana.
Yeah.
I see you trying. I see what you're doing.
She fancy.
She fancy.
What did she make her box out of? Gold, rose gold, something like
yeah,
that?
her safe space box.
Her memory box.
What did you think about that? Her now doing the same thing that Anissa does, even after Anissa told her, "Don't go out."
Not surprised, especially having been a 16-year-old girl. Not surprised that was your immediate takeaway. I was surprised to see her take the casual identity, vigilante identity, the Blackbird identity on.
Yeah.
Because we know she has a suit, and they've been speaking about it. But I liked seeing it. They returned to the same hotel from the pilot, which is always fun. And I really liked that Anissa preserved it for her, because Anissa, having gone through that journey last season, really understands what it means for Jennifer to find it in herself. I wonder if they're going to call her Lightning, though, because Lightning and Black Lightning on the same show might be too much.
I'm wondering the same thing.
They're just going to call her Bedazzled. They're going to call her Rose Gold. Black Lightning Writers Room going to hire me at any time.
Give it up for Rose Gold Sparkles, y'all. Like, I have wondered that.
Yeah.
I have wondered that, because it is going to seem very weird by calling her, I mean, granted, in the comic books, it's Thunder, Lightning, Black Lightning. Yeah. And it's going to be weird to see if she does it. But everything that's come out has kept saying she's going to be Lightning. Yeah. And I think they're gonna make a reason she does it is because she wants to be like her dad.
I hope so.
So if you give like a story reason behind it, I'm totally fine with it. But also we see that if she tries to use her abilities, it'll drain her.
Yeah, because she's not a battery.
Well,
she's a power source.
But also Peretta told her, was like, look, you got a lot of anger in you,
and you will literally explode, which is perhaps the most insane thing they've ever said. She's like, you're gonna.
Listen. I just want to talk to you. Listen, sweetie. So this is what's gonna happen. You're just gonna pop.
Yeah.
But which is possible.
Yeah.
Because again, this goes back to the callback to earlier in the episode. She has this force of a nuclear bomb, and because if she keeps all this built within her, she will explode. Means she can do a lot of damage.
Yep.
I don't think she has her suit just yet, though. In the episode,
no, you're right. She might not, but we know that the suit has been made.
Oh yeah.
You know, they probably made that suit for her in season 1. I mean, let's.
Oh yeah, she had been trying to suit on for season 1. I just wonder where they're gonna put it at, because the room where the Thunder and the Black Lightning costume is that those two chambers take up the whole room.
And they're just gonna be smaller.
So they're gonna have to cut out. They're gonna knock down a wall.
They're gonna put it on the ceiling.
Jinsu gonna come out the wall like, "Hey y'all."
That'd be so funny.
Hey y'all. Like it's gonna block Anissa suit like. Yeah.
Well, sisters, am I right? All right, Jay, on a scale of 1 to 5 lightning bolts, what are you going to rate this episode with a long name?
I'm going to rate this episode with the best rating I think I've ever given an episode, possibly. 5 Ashley Victoria Robinsons.
I'm not editing that.
5 Ashleys.
Yay! I mean, it was great. This episode has given us so many things that we've wanted for so long.
Yes.
Most notably...
Wendy came back, by the way.
Oh, yeah! More pod kids! Yeah!
More pod kids! Wendy came back.
We're hopefully going to finally get the outsiders.
Oh, we're definitely about to get them now. The fact that Lynn knows how to wake them up and keep them alive.
Finally!
So,
it only took 13 episodes, which is actually a very respectable amount of time. And Lynn is very smart, and I like her being
and
a
it was
super
done
doctor.
Well.
That's right. Jay, where can people go to find your opinions on Wendy online?
I don't know if I'm going to have my opinions on Wendy, but you can find them on Twitter and Instagram at Mr. J Washington, MRJAY. You should know how to spell Washington, and JAY Washington 80 YouTube.
And if you like this video, don't forget to go down to the comment section, click subscribe, click the little bell so that every time Chocolate Thunder and I show up, you know about it. Come join us in the Hall of Justice and be a super friend. Join Crisis Club if you want to know everything that there is to know about the DCTV crossover. Jay and I will be back next week to try and pronounce that week's episode.
It's going to be a rough one.